Hey everybody, Shiny Sephiroth here. It has been quite a while, about a year, maybe a little bit more. Just coming up here with an update. I have an old video that's about a year old that I have had just sitting in the editing bay and never finished editing. And this one's going to have minimal edits in it. For those of you who might have missed some of the announcements I made in previous videos, I think that I was in the process of applying to medical school when I was still filming. And long story short, I ended up applying. Anybody who understands how medical school works, I applied in April. Long story. I applied in April, got accepted in July, and started medical school. It's been a great experience. I'm currently doing that with a PhD, and just with all of that, and I was attempting to work a full-time job at the same time. I did that up until February of this year, and so then I quit then, and just been slowly getting things in order on my end. But I mean, I still wanted to do some videos. I have this video here that you're about to see that's from May of last year. And I have, over the past couple of months, done a lot more work on the room, and it is much more updated than what you're about to see here. But that is the backbone, what you're about to see of what the room has become. So very excited to get back on the wagon and do these more frequent updates and share my hobby collection with you all. So yeah, those of you out there, love to hear how you're doing. Give me some updates about how you're doing on your end. And yeah, hope you enjoy the video. So this video took a long time to get up and going, but the time has happened and we are finally here. So here is Professor Xavier finally added to the display. Very excited to have him up there. I also added the box to Giant Man over here to this part of the display. Once they get those animated Sentinels in a few months, once they are released from Hasbro, everything is going to be much better. And also crossing my fingers that the tariff situation is looked at by then so that I'm not paying an arm and a leg in tariffs for my 4 Sentinels that I pre-ordered. But other than that, here we go. Here's how it's looking. Really happy with how it's turned out. So we got that taken care of. We did add another Professor X right over here. So the Savage Land Professor X, I decided to put him here in this part of my display. And yeah, happy with how that turned out, because we got him and Elandra over here, and then him and Moira over here. All right, over here, I got my extra Tony Stark head, slapped it on the body of Ultimate Iron Man, and got to finish out this display. Oh, I also grabbed that riser I was threatening to put up before, so that the people in the back row are more readily seen. But yeah, really, I think it turned out really cool here. So really like how that turned out. I did this because I already have the Ultimate Iron Man from Diamond Select here on display. I really like that. I like the colors on that guy a little bit better than the colors on the Marvel Legends version. So I figured, I was needing an extra iron suit for the head of my Tony Stark for this kind of Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. display from the comics. So really happy with how that turned out, and it kind of and it fleshes out, finishes up the whole thing. So really happy with that. The other person I was able to finish out here is Miles Morales. I got the new body and I slipped on the old head. I felt like the head that it came with, it just didn't quite hit for me, the Miles Morales look. And so I decided to save it for another, for a custom or something in the future. But yeah, really happy with how that turned out. And we got him over here and kind of finishes out a big hole I had in this collection for the longest of whiles. And now we're just going to build things out, push things over. I need to get some bodies for the upcoming Bully Maguire that's coming out, as well as a body for my Garfield and other Maguire head to put next to Holland and the animated and the original comic Peter. And yeah, it's coming along quite nicely and fitting what I wanted for this. All right, once again, like in a previous video I mentioned in text, this glass here really needs to get cleaned and you get some Windex. Just take some time to do that. So my apologies for that. But yeah, added the Platinum Dr. Fate here to this display. The color scheme for the Platinum, although it matches the movie Dr. Fate, played by Pierce Brosnan, it does well here on the New 52 display. You can see that the color scheme is a near perfect match. The trunks are a little off, but it's fine. Especially looking over here, yeah, looks great. So really happy to get another New 52 toy added to the display. Let's see what else we added. Quick little side note, I was able to find both of my Legionnaire rings. One is the traditional, one is the one that was sported during Rebirth when Jeff Johns was trying to redo them. And yeah, so really glad to add that to my alternate timeline future display. For my Silver Age display, I'm really happy to be adding Adam Strange here. And I made sure to put his smiley face on because it just kind of adds to that overall happy, bright, vibrant look that the Silver Age had. And to my Dark Age display, I went ahead and I added Plastic Man, as I feel like he works really well with the 90s display. I also added in Connor Hawke, as he temporarily joined the Justice League during that time frame in the 90s. And like I said, really, there's just something about the 90s that really has a very similar feel to the New 52. It's post-Crisis on Infinite Earths, trying to redo a whole bunch of storylines. But at that point, they weren't trying to destroy everything. But I mean, we had things like Atlantean Power Girl and whatnot. Oliver Queen dies, and so they bring in Connor Hawke. Aquaman gets this complete redo. Hal Jordan becomes evil, and we get Kyle Rayner instead. Barry Allen is dead, so we get Wally West. Guy Gardner becomes Warrior. I mean, just all of this stuff. It's, got the death of Jason Todd. Tim Drake comes in. And, yeah, it just, there's a real strong, we got to shake things up, New 52 vibe to the Dark Age. Over here, with the Modern Age, I went ahead and I added the JSA Hour Man because, as I mentioned in a previous video, the JSA were a huge part of the comics in the 2000s and the aughts. And they had joint membership between the JSA and the JLA. And there's just a different vibe to this version of the JSA, in my opinion. They're more of the older veterans as opposed to the alternate timeline counterparts like they were in the Golden Age, Silver Age crossovers. So I like adding them here like this to show there's a distinct demarcation between the two groups. Now, if you look here at my Infinite Frontier / Dawn of DC display, you will see that I've added the Stealth Suit Platinum Adam Strange to here because with the normal suit, you can slip that into a old school Silver Age display like I had. But this suit specifically showed up during the Infinite Frontier arc in Strange Adventures. I think it's volume 9, issue 9. I think it's issue 9 of Strange Adventures. A lot of trivia nerd display that probably could use my brain power for something more important. But anyway, yeah, so I added that here and I think it really does well. Another thing that's not new per se, but I finally added it here. I never noticed that the Page Puncher Ryan Choi Adam was the Rebirth suit. And I was complaining in a previous video when I was first showing my Rebirth display that I was missing some key members of their JLA. So they had the Justice League, and then they had Batman running the Justice League of America. And so that was Lobo, Ryan, Choi, Adam, the Ray, and Vixen, as well as Frost, you know, trying to create some synergy between what they want to do with the CW. But anyway, yeah, so really glad to have Ryan Choi added here. Really close to actually finishing that Rebirth JLA line. And so here's how it overall looks. Really happy with this. Still wanting a Hippolyta. I have an extra Power Princess from Marvel. I know they're really expensive, but I'm really tempted to turn her into a Infinite Frontier Hippolyta. Put it down in the comments if I should pull the trigger or not on that. So here's one I am super happy about adding to the display are the rest of the DC bombshells. So we got here Batwoman added on, got Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, Poison Ivy. Those all are new to the display. So the only one I'm technically missing that I want to round things out is that statue of Supergirl, since they canceled the rest of the DC bombshell line, and they did show us that they were going to be the first prototype they launched was Power Girl in this scale. So really bummed out that we lost out on that. So with some new toys came the opportunity for me to start building up that Suicide Squad comic display. So I got the new Killer Croc. I had originally put a whole space in my Killer Croc display, but I figured this one looks really, really good. And I added him to my Suicide Squad display. Finally opened up and added Captain Boomerang along with the Deadshot. Got my second copy of Daniel West Reverse Flash, added it here. My Mattel Rebirth Katana, as well as this extra Connor Kent that I had. So I could put him in here because Match actually joined the team. I think it was in Dawn of DC when they attacked Earth 3. And before they revealed that they made it look like it was Connor Kent that had been put on the Suicide Squad before doing a plot twist reveal that it was Match. And then they eventually turned him into a Bizarro type, as they do. So, definitely some more I need to add to this display. I did consider putting in Sportsmaster because he had a short tenure on the Suicide Squad, as well as Deathstroke. But as of right now, I'm deciding against it. I'm going to leave them out. But I do need to at least get a Harley Quinn. I was tempted to get my Harley that I have from New 52 and put it on here because that's the look. However, I really didn't want to pull her from my Joker display. I have her next to my New 52, that Snyder trilogy Jokers that led to the alternate timeline of Last Night on Earth. So I didn't want to pull that Harley Quinn there. I'll have to wait to see if McFarlane pulls an audible and gets us a New 52 Harley, or if not, I'll end up buying one on the aftermarket. So a really quick addition to the display here is the alternate universe evil Super Friends Batman. Really happy with how that turned out. And yeah, so not much to talk about that. That just he's added here. And yeah, mentioning Super Friends, this is my budding display. Definitely has a long way to go. But I went ahead and I lowered some stuff here and put him behind to make them kind of look like they're the same height. And I think once the whole team shows up here, it's going to look really good. So the Platinum Captain Cold is here. He's based off the Super Friends design. So unless they actually do an official Captain Cold from Super Friends, the Platinum will be here. And I also have the Red Platinum Riddler. So happy to have them here and building up that display. Also, I went ahead and I added Mr. Mind from Shazam, the Shazam World comics. I added him to my live action villains display. Mentioning villains displays, I also added in extra copies, the McFarlane versions of Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze to the display to round this out. This is my animated / video game villain display. Oh, and also super important, Phantasm. Still super, super stoked to have her added. It's just fantastic. So over here with my kind of main baddies display, I moved some things around. I added Godspeed to the display just because I felt like it's a cool progression of evil speedsters to be all together. And then I added the Platinum Deadshot here. It's a cool color, but I do think that maybe the brighter colors will look better next to Reverse Flash. So we will experiment and see. And since we're talking about the Suicide Squad, I wanted to show my updated Snyderverse Gunverse display. So, yeah, actually you can see right here. We have Freddie Freeman added, Captain Marvel Jr. And then we have Floyd Lawton up there to connect. He was the only Suicide Squad toy for the CW verse they released. So he kind of connects that portion of the display over to the Suicide Squad. And then behind the Snyderverse / DCEU, we have their versions of the Suicide Squad. So I have the Mattel figures up there. And then I really wanted to put Katana next to Flag. But what stopped me from being able to do that was also wanting to have a transition from these Snyderverse Suicide Squads to the soft reboot to the Gunverse Suicide Squad. And we have Boomerang, Flag, and Harley Quinn, who were members of both teams, played by the same actors, who arguably have elements of their pasts of that one mission with Enchantress having something to do with their backstories in the Gunverse, at least in The Suicide Squad, which is a movie that exists simultaneously in both universes due to things we saw in Peacemaker. So the Peacemaker, well, I haven't seen it, but I know about it. In the Peacemaker show, it simultaneously exists both in the Gunverse and the Snyderverse. So it's a little nebulous, and that's why you see I did this bridge between the two. So yeah, Boomerang and whatnot, and you can say, oh look, this is the Gunverse Suicide Squad, or cut that out and say, oh look, it's the Snyderverse Suicide Squad. Anyway, I'm a nerd, I know, but really happy with that. Have a much more fleshed out Gunverse display here than I had before, just the lone Blue Beetle. And then once the Superman movie comes out, I'm going to be moving this guy down to over here, so it kind of fits the template that I do for the other DC figures, Justice Leagues, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, then auxiliary members of the main team, and then randos in the back. And it'll be that same pattern up here. So because of the camouflage tumbler, I decided to drop down my Bane Scarecrow display to down here below my villain display. So here we go. Here we have all my different Banes and Scarecrows together, and next to the tumbler. I think it really looks good. Really happy with how that turned out. Finally being able to add these to the display. And right here, I figured, if this is going to help me unlock more space down here, I'll go ahead and put Lobo and Dog down here as well on the Space Hog.
Right, so the first updates added here are the HasLab Giant Man as well as Dakin. So really happy to have added that to the collection. Really happy with how it turned out. The Dark Avengers here are finally completed. Unless there's somebody I'm missing, please let me know down in the comments if there is. But as far as I can remember off the top of my head, this is a pretty good Dark Avengers / evil versions of beloved heroes display right here. And then Giant Man goes right here to fill in that gap, that hole that I've had in my collection that I've been saving for him for quite a while. So yeah, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit here and see how the whole thing looks. There's Dakin's head, by the way. I have to say, pretty happy with how this has turned out. Thank you all for stopping by here at the Retroverse Nexus. I really appreciate your patronage. Things are going swimmingly. I'm so excited to see this display finish up. We're getting close to being able to move on to other parts of the toy room. It's gonna be fantastic.
And he was right. It is looking fantastic right now. I'm really excited to show you the evolution. it looks fairly different than what you're seeing here. Yeah, the past few months, it's been a lot of work getting it done, but I'm really excited to share the update.
Thank you all for being a part of this journey. Make sure you leave a comment to be enrolled in giveaways. Make sure that you're subscribing to help us get to those subscriber counts. This video is being filmed on April 30th of 2025. With that, thanks a bunch. Please let me know how your collections are going and all your travails and thoughts about tariffs and whatnot that when it comes to toy collecting. And I'll see you in the next video.